Hey, Frame Feeling here with another episode of How to Adult. This is going to be making pancakes. Yay! So I'm going to turn my pan on to high and then get this started. Make a bit of bench space. Oops. So in my bowl, self-raising flour. Yay! Just dump it in. Quarter cup of sugar. Just plain white sugar. It's all good. Now to that I'm going to add an egg. Ooh, these are really good fresh eggs. Get that little bit of shell out. Only problem with that method of cracking eggs is sometimes you get a little bit of shell. Straight in the bin. Wash the eggy goodness off. Now I'm going to add milk. You can use any kind of milk you want. Cow dairy is preferred. As a substitute I'm using soy because that's what I got. And if you want to replace the egg and make these vegan, just throw about quarter cup of oil in there and it'll substitute it beautifully. So you'll get yourself a bit of a dough. And then you just keep adding the milk until you get a nice batter. You can use a whisk, but I find a fork works just as well and it's less messing around. Afterwards you can just wash the batter off the fork and use it to eat your pancakes. Now you will be needing butter. I find using oil to cook these in makes them turn out a bit funny. So notice the motion I'm using? It's not an actual round and round, it's a pick it up, pull it onto the other side. And the other motion you can make is a figure of 8. And this really combines it quite well. And sometimes just turn the bowl. Of any goodness. So you can make this as thin or as thick as you like. I like to make it a little bit thicker so that it makes a nice thick pancake. If you don't mind the noise, you can just get a set of beaters out on this. Figure out how much milk you need. But always test to see its consistency. Don't worry about a few little lumps because they'll cook out. It's the big lumps you want to watch for. So that's my pancake batter. It looks like my battery's about to run out on me, so I'll run out on you for a second. Technical issues. Okay, around here, and you should be receiving power now. So I'm going to get my butter out, a few bits and pieces to put in it. Now I missed one vital step. If I can get... Oh. The lid really likes to stick on this. Vanilla. I like lots of vanilla. So spend the money and get good quality vanilla, it'll taste better. It's always worth spending that little extra when it comes to this thing. So mix that in. Oh, it smells good. Just a quick wash. You'll see what this is in a minute. So I'm going to take this all over to my stove. My pan's preheated. Okay. All this off-screen sound is me getting the yummy butter. Getting a few things out of the way so that we may continue. So I'm just going to, in the middle of the pan, put a blotch of butter. Turn the temperature up a little bit. I'm going to pull a plate out so I have something to put my pancakes on. Okay, now I'm going to use a scoop. You can use a ladle, or preferably if you have a pouring jug, you can make up the batter in it the exact same way and then just pour it straight into the pan from it. That way you don't have to worry about drippage and spillage. Usually your first pancake turns out the worst, but that's fine. So your first variety is your plain, just like that. The other variety I like to do is get some fresh blueberries. Pick out the smaller ones and just dot them into the surface. It's a little overdone, isn't it? So we're just going to let that sit and do its thing. And we don't want a high temperature. It's going to burn the butter and it's going to burn the pancakes and they'll end up raw in the middle. And no one likes raw pancakes. One thing you'll notice is as soon as it's in the pan, it'll start rising. And you'll notice bubbles appearing. That's a good thing. We want bubbles all the way around. And the sides the very edges will change colour and lift up from the pan as well. And that's what we want. So you gotta be patient. These will tell us when they're ready. And the advantage of putting the butter in the middle is it basically does all the lubrication you want it to do without escaping all to the sides and getting the streaky marks on the pancakes from when you've moved the butter around. Because that happens. While that's happening, I'm going to put my milk away and make a coffee. Yay, coffee! Unfortunately, pancakes is something that you commit to when you start cooking. You can't walk away. You're stuck there. Too much coffee. Never too much coffee. Until your heart palpitates in your handshake. This is coming along beautifully. The butter's starting to brown with the milk solids. And you can see up here it's all starting to bubble. Coming along beautifully. A few more bubbles and I'll turn it. You'll notice that this blueberry's actually leaked out because they're cooking at the moment. Your blueberries are cooking! Yay! Cooked blueberries. Okay, those bubbles are starting to burst. A little bit longer. You can just pick them up slightly on the edge and have a little look under. See if it's done enough. This is me getting impatient. And also I'm arranging for the next type of pancake. Okay, this is really getting done. There we go. Lovely. Just turn it down a notch. You're always balancing the temperature. And that pattern and coloration is exactly what you want. Now, as I said, if it doesn't turn out right on your first try, don't worry. Just practice and persist. The pancakes mostly cook through to the other side, so now you're just cooking the top of it. A little bit of cover. Oh, look at that ooze. Oh, this is going to be so tasty. So, the underside, that's basically all blueberry juice. Oh, look at my spatula. It's all blueberries. So I'm going to take a bit of paper towel now. Otherwise I'd keep going with that, because I'm going to show you another method. Careful, your pan is hot. Ow. Okay, I just wanted to get those blueberries off the middle. So now I'm going to make a savory pancake. How do you make a savory pancake? I have a sweet batter. Rather quite simple. I'm going to get a cup big enough to hold the pancake with batter. Normally when I do this, I just make an entire batch. Okay, so pancake batter in a cup. A bit more. This is going to be a bit bigger. But basically, if you have leftover meat, you can rip that apart and shove it in here. I'm going to put some parmesan in. Parmesan. And now I'm going to put a few herbs in. That's just some oregano. If I can get the lid off. A little bit of parsley. I got some basil along here somewhere. This is always nice, especially with lamb. Rosemary. So you basically, this is an easy way of making a fritter, is to make up a pancake batter and then put all your savories in. Usually I put a few other cheeses in, but barely able to see it's in there. Now the fork I used to mix it with earlier, I'm just going to give this a nice little mix up, and it's in there quite nice. So now I'm going to move my setup back to where it was and not lose my camera. So I kind of wiped the bar off earlier because of the blueberry goodness. So I'm going to put a little bit of butter in the center. Let it do its thing. Now cheese does sink to the bottom a bit, so you're going to mix it around. You'll probably notice I'm not forcing the mixture around the pan either. The mixture is just naturally flowing out into a nice circle, and that's what you want. I'll wash that cup out now. So I'm just gonna now wait until that one cooks through. As I said, always balancing the temperature. Always, always. Remind me fiddling with the camera. So this one's a lot bigger because I put more batter in the pan. While that's working, I'm going to clean my spatula. Because it's got all that blueberry goodness on it. Another handy hint is if you want to have a sugarless pancake, just omit the sugar and put half a banana in instead. Because fruit has a lot of natural sugar in it. Makes a good supplement. Now you may not be able to see this because of all the flecks in there, but it's starting to bubble on the top again. You can definitely see them popping. And now it's just a waiting game. So I'm just slicing up a bit of banana for the next one. Every now and then you'll hear a little click. That's me adjusting the temperature of my stove. My pancake. It's looking pretty good. It's looking real good. So this is going to be nice and savory with cheese and herbs, and oh, you can smell the herbs. The next one I'm going to do is plain, but you'll see what I'm going to do with it after it's cooked, and that's basically put some banana, cinnamon sugar and honey over the top. That's real tasty. My Canadian friend calls it an Aussie pancake. if I had pre-cooked some pancake prior, I would have shown you how I make those. But that's probably left for another day. But that's very simple. You just cook your bacon until it's crunchy. Put it in the batter. Drain off the fat. And use the fat to grease the pan. And pour the batter with bacon bits in the pan and cook it like a normal pancake. And then pour it with maple syrup afterwards. That's a bacon pancake. Leftover batter you can cling wrap and put in the fridge for later. Or if you're very busy, you can cook up your pancakes, the whole lot of them. Put cling film over the top of them once they're cooled, put them in the fridge, and the next day you can just put them in the microwave for a few minutes and they will come back quite nice. Check them, nice and brown, good. So that makes for a very quick and easy pancake breakfast. Cook them the day before. And I found out they last for 3 or 4 days doing that. Because when you're on your own and your recipe says feeds 4 and your appetite is that of what it's supposed to be, it gets very difficult to eat the full amount in one sitting. So this one I'm not going to put fruit in it, I'm going to put the fruit on it. And while that's happening, I'm going to show you how beautifully this one turned out. That's bomb. Ooh. Usually I make it a bit more cheesy than this, but that is just all the taste, all the tasty. Ooh. It's not as cheesy as what I normally make it, because I normally put mozzarella and stuff like that in it. But silly little me forgot to get some when I was at groceries the other day. So this is to show you what a normal plain pancake looks like. And to show you one of my favourite ways of having it. So there's that ring of bubbles I was talking about. And they're popping quite nicely. Oh, excuse me. Eating the herb one. But yeah, the edges are starting to bubble. And often goes more of a darker colour. I love watching the bubbles. Trying to guess which one pops next is always fun. Or even popping them yourself. So this is a really old recipe I've been using for just over 15 years. If you want them more light and fluffy, you can always add more baking soda and bicarb. And wiping the pan down like that with a paper towel is a legitimate way of cleaning it, especially with stoneware. This is ceramic coated, so it does benefit from it. Oh, look at that lovely golden ring. Stupid of me. Touch the pan. So I'm just going to show you. That's the underside. That's what I've been trying to show. So I'm going to move my pan handle to the hot plate off. Bring these gorgeouses over here. So you've got my half-eaten herb one, blueberries, and my plain one. So I've sliced up a bit of banana. Sliced up a bit too much by looks. I do normally make bigger pancakes though. Cinnamon sugar. And a drizzle, if I can get the jar open, local fresh honey. And that are my 3 preferred pancake types, all made from the one batter. Yum! Alright, hope you all enjoyed that, and it's over and out and breakfast time for me. Bye!